Hey there, if you watch any TV or even just check your mail, you've definitely seen those ads for a company called Globe Life. They make some pretty big promises about protecting your family. But the real question is, what are you actually getting behind those ads? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain and find out.
I mean, you know the ones I'm talking about, right? They're everywhere. On TV, popping up in your mailbox, promising this unbelievable deal on life insurance. And look, it's a powerful message. It gets a lot of people to pick up the phone for sure.
And let's just get this out of the way right up front. Globe Life is a totally legitimate company. This isn't some scam. But, and this is a big but, the full story is just not as simple as those ads make it seem. There are some really important trade-offs we need to unpack to figure out if it's the right fit for most families. So, okay, let's dive in.
First things first, we got to establish the basic facts, right? Is this a company you can actually trust to be there when you or your family might need them?
And the answer is yes. Financially, they are absolutely solid. Globe Life has been around since 1951. That's a long time. They're publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange, and they're licensed in every single state. But here's the most important part. They have an A, excellent rating from AM Best. That's kind of the gold standard for an insurance company's financial strength. It means, yes, they have the money to pay out claims. So on one hand, you've got that excellent financial stability, rock solid. But on the other hand, well, there's a whole different story. The company gets a higher than average number of customer complaints, and most of them seem to come from people being confused about what their policies actually do. So that tells us something really important. While the company is secure, the product itself might not be what people think they're buying.
Okay, so let's talk about that famous $1 offer. It is the hook. It's what gets everybody's attention. But, it's also the source of almost all of that confusion we were just talking about.
So here's the absolute most crucial point. That $1, it only pays for your very first month of coverage. That's it. It's an introductory rate, a teaser. After that first month is over, the real price kicks in, and believe me, it's a lot more than $1.
Let's just call it what it is, right? The $1 offer is a marketing tool. It's pure hype. It's designed to get you in the door, to make it super easy and quick to sign up. But it in no way represents the actual long-term cost of the insurance you're buying.
So, is there ever a time this makes sense? Maybe. If you need a tiny bit of coverage, like right now, for a very, very short period, it could work. But if you're a family and you're looking for real long-term security and value to protect your loved ones for years to come, this is just not the right strategy. Not at all.
Now let's really get into the nitty-gritty of their main products, because this is where that whole short-term thinking can lead to some serious financial headaches down the road.
So, Globe's most advertised product is their term life insurance. And term life is usually super simple. It covers you for a set number of years. The problem is, the key detail with Globe's version is that the price you pay isn't locked in. Your premiums are not level.
I want you to picture a staircase. You start out on the bottom step with a pretty low premium, but then, every 5 years, bam, the price jumps up to the next step. And then 5 years later, it jumps up again, and again. Over time, as you get older, that policy can become so ridiculously expensive that it's just plain unaffordable, forcing people to drop their coverage right when they're most likely to need it.
All right, so their other main product is whole life insurance. Now, this one's a little different. It's designed to last your entire life, and the premiums are fixed. They never go up. That sounds a whole lot better, right? It even builds a little bit of cash value over time.
But, and you knew there was a but coming, here's the catch. The absolute maximum amount of coverage you can get with their whole life policy is just $50,000. Look, for most families who need to replace someone's income or pay off a mortgage or send a kid to college, $50,000 just isn't going to cut it. It might be okay for some seniors who just want to cover final expenses like a burial, but it's not a solution for real family protection.
So that all sounds a little bleak, but the good news is there are so many better ways to protect your family's financial future. Let's explore some of the smarter alternatives you should know about. So instead of a policy where the costs just keep going up, you can get a term life policy where the premiums are guaranteed to stay the exact same for 10, 20, or even 30 years. You can find whole life policies with much higher coverage amounts that can also pay you dividends. And for people looking for more flexibility, there are products like indexed universal life that have growth potential or annuities that can provide guaranteed income when you retire.
Let's just put this side by side. It makes it really clear. With Globe Life's term policy, your premiums jump every 5 years, and you're typically capped at $100,000 in coverage. With a better alternative, you get a level premium for decades and can get coverage of $500,000 or a lot more. The difference is pretty black and white. One is a temporary fix, and the other is a real long-term solution.
So, after looking at all of this, what's the bottom line? What's the one thing you really need to take away from all this?
Here it is, plain and simple. Yes, Globe Life is a real, financially stable company. No question. But for the vast majority of people out there who are looking for meaningful, long-term financial protection for their families, it is just not the ideal choice.
It really just boils down to two huge problems. The coverage amounts are just too low to truly protect a family's future, and that structure of constantly increasing premiums makes them a really unstable and often unaffordable long-term plan.
So I'll leave you with this one final thought to chew on. I want you to take a hard look at your own financial protection plan. Are you relying on a short-term fix, or have you actually built a plan for true long-term security? It's honestly one of the most important questions you can ask for your family's future.
And that's our deep dive for today. Now, if you live here in Georgia and you're looking for some local advice, one option to check out is Georgia Safe Retirement Planners. Their top priority is building lasting relationships and supporting their clients no matter what life throws at them. You can find them online at georgiasaferetirementplanners.com, give them a call for a free consultation at 470-888-7233, or just click the link below. They're located right at 1124 Canton Street in downtown Roswell. Just remember, it's never too early to start planning for your future.